Welcome to this capacity building training module. In this video, we will delve into the topic of sustainability. But before we dive into this intriguing topic, let's start by providing a brief yet essential context. So, we encourage you to stay tuned as we explain who EVTA is and why they are creating these modules. In the heart of Europe, EVTA is a dedicated organization uniting vocational education and training stakeholders, fostering knowledge exchange. EVTA is on a journey to create an ecosystem of shared expertise, addressing VT sector challenges head-on. VIP Next is a strategic 3-year work plan co-funded by the European Union. Aligned with EVTA's core mission, this project revolves around 3 key objective pillars: visibility, policy engagement, and network strengthening. The video you're watching is a vital element of our network strengthening activities. The objective is to enhance the network's capabilities through project design expertise and active participation in funding opportunities. So, with that context in mind, let's dive right into the topic of this video. This video will focus on the topic of environment and fight against climate change, or what is commonly referred to as sustainability, from the perspective of the VT sector. Policy background. Let us first take a look at the policy background of this topic by reviewing the main EU initiatives. The EU Green Deal. In December 2019, the EC initiated the ambitious European Green Deal, committing to climate neutrality by 2050. In June 2021, the European climate law turning this climate neutrality target into binding legislation entered into force. All 27 EU member states committed to making the EU the first climate-neutral continent by 2050. To get there, they pledged to reduce emissions by at least 55% by 2030, compared to 1990 levels. Fit for 55. This objective is encapsulated in the so-called Fit for 55 package. It is a set of interconnected proposals, driving towards ensuring a fair, competitive and green transition by 2030 and beyond, across a range of policy areas and economic sectors: climate, energy and fuels, transport, buildings, land use and forestry. Special Eurobarometer. As reported in the Eurobarometer, Protecting the Environment and Climate, EU citizens put the environment as the #1 policy priority for the EU institutions. 94% of citizens in all EU member states say that protecting the environment is important to them. In addition, 91% of citizens stated that climate change is a serious problem in the EU. European legislation is necessary to protect the environment, according to 83% of those surveyed. EU citizens consider that the most effective ways of tackling environmental problems were changing the way we consume and changing the way we produce and trade. Let us now take a look at the links and relevance of this topic for VT. What is the current state of play of sustainability in the field of VT? When it comes to VT, several policy measures can be highlighted. One of the key aspects of the EU Green Deal is called Leading the Third Industrial Revolution, with a view that the green transition presents a major opportunity for the European industry to create markets for clean technologies and products. By 2030, it is estimated that 160,000 additional green jobs could be created in the construction sector. The 2020 Osnabrück Declaration on VT as an enabler of recovery and just transitions to digital and green economy, declaration agreed by the ministers responsible for VT, the EC, and supported also by the VET4U2 platform whose EVTA is a founding member, mentions that VET is an enabler of innovation and an essential foundation for green, digital and sustainable growth. Its third objective is called sustainability. A green link in VT indicates that IVT and CVET should strive to embed skills for sustainability in their regulations and practices. It also links digitalization and sustainability. Developments in technology are driving the growth of sectors including education and training. The development of open source and digital learning environments can make education for sustainable development more accessible both in and outside of education and training settings, whether in schools, companies or at home. The policy priorities of the Council recommendation on VT for sustainability, competitiveness, social fairness and resilience are of particular relevance because they notably state that VT is a driver for innovation and growth and prepares for the digital and green transitions and occupations in high demand. VET is an attractive choice based on modern and digitalized provision of training, skills. VET promotes equality of opportunities. VET is underpinned by a culture of quality assurance. Let us now ask a simple but key question. Why is it important for the VET sector to address sustainability? Climate change is the biggest challenge of our times. It is also an opportunity to build a new economic model. As the UN Global Climate Action Sports for Climate Action Framework says, global warming is placing our planet and future generations at risk. Meeting the scale of the challenge requires action by all sectors to achieve the goals of the Paris Climate Change Agreement. Around the world, governments, cities, and businesses are taking bold climate action, leading the way towards a healthier and more sustainable future. So it is a matter of social responsibility. It can also be a source of economic prosperity. The focus of this training module is, how can the VET sector adopt a more sustainable approach in the delivery of vocational training? First, what are the benefits of tackling this topic? VET, and education, training and skills in general, are at the heart of EU policy. They play a central role in shaping the economy and society of the future, supporting the sustainable and digital transitions. A greener economy requires forward-thinking education and training systems providing the workforce with the right skills to ensure the green transition. Investing in greening VET is considered a cornerstone of the process since it can foster a positive impact at multiple levels. It provides individuals with the skills and knowledge needed to work in a greener economy, promotes sustainable development, creates job opportunities, improves environmental quality, and supports climate action. It reinforces consciousness and motivation to develop a green culture and makes VET more attractive to learners and communities by promoting green skills. The Council recommendation on VET for sustainable competitiveness, social fairness and resilience defines vocational education and training as education and training which aims to equip young people and adults with knowledge, skills and competences required in particular occupations or more broadly on the labor market. Traditionally, VET programs have been seen as a way to prepare individuals for jobs in medium-skilled occupations. They continue to represent the largest share of jobs currently available in the labor market. Best practices in the field. In the past years, EVTA has been involved in several cooperation projects and activities aimed at increasing the awareness on environmental sustainable practices in VET. EVTA is ceaselessly increasing its commitment on sustainability thanks to the appointment of 2 experts in the newly established EC Working Group on VET and the Green Transition. Out of the various projects in the field of sustainability EVTA has been involved in recently, we have chosen some best practices that we deemed as the most relevant. Evergreen. Evergreen is a 30-month-long Erasmus Plus funded project, from January 3, 2022 to January 9, 2024, coordinated by the German organization BUP.net, and involving partners from Greece, Italy, Luxembourg, France, Slovenia, and Belgium. It ambitions to introduce innovative practices that will prepare VET communities to initiate the greening process of the sector, and enable behavioral changes and greener mindsets at both professional and personal levels. The project is a direct contribution to the green transition of the European Union's VET sector, through the provision of innovative tools and approaches. Mapping of green practices for VET. In the frame of the project, a mapping report on the greening practices currently implemented in EU VET institutes was developed. It is based on evidence gathered from VET institutions of different EU countries on their awareness and preparation regarding sustainability. It assesses the greening level of EU VET institutes, which practices they use, which obstacles they face, etc., along 4 dimensions. 1. Greening the curriculum and training, to understand the preparation of employees on green practices and whether such topics are already part of the curriculum. 2. Greening the campus, to understand which green processes and activities are implemented in the facilities related to transportation, energy and water saving, waste reduction. 3. Greening the community and workplace, to understand the awareness on such topics in the VET community. 4. Greening institutional culture, to understand whether the institutions have strategic plans for sustainability and whether such principles are applied in day-to-day activities and decision-making processes. The results show significant differences in the countries which take part in the project. Germany. Overall, although environmental sustainability is seen as a relevant topic in VET, it has not yet found its way into VET institutions across the board. Greece. A contrast between the experience of VET staff and the declarations of educational authorities appears. While the latter claim that initiatives do promote the green transition, the VET staff and teachers are rarely aware of them when asked. Italy. Generally, there seems to be a lot of interest from VET institutions in sustainable development and green practices. Luxembourg. The country aims to be an example in the EU regarding green practices and sustainability. France, with French VET institutes based in France, Malta, and Spain, emphasize the importance of sustainability and climate education in VET and the need for effective implementation and monitoring in all sectors of the economy, notably by adapting existing sustainability policies and practices already used in VET to local needs and requirements. Stress the need to identify skills and occupations of the future as a strategic driver for successful national recovery. Underlined the availability of VET for students to fulfill a societal mission while investing positively in their career development and opportunities. Emphasized the importance of including green practices in the curriculum to provide future workers with valuable skills that will improve their job prospects. Slovenia. A relatively uniform and homogeneous situation regarding Slovenia's VET staff and educational authorities. Interest is expressed in using sustainable development in VET to improve students' skills in the field of work. Belgium. VET organizations encourage employees to learn more about sustainable development and green practices. Green methods are implemented in various structures, especially regarding energy saving and reducing plastic and paper, and such topics are included in their organization's curricula. Development of 9 greening scenarios for VET institutions. The Evergreen project also developed a model with different greening scenarios to help VET institutions. It consists in a 9 scenarios matrix, where the y-axis depicts the greening level, or VET greening ambition level, categorized as light, medium and intense target. The x-axis represents the level of vocational training maturity to assess how far the measures have progressed, at low, medium, or high level. The 9 different scenarios correspond to each possible combination of low medium high readiness and light medium intense greening targets. The scenarios include examples, viable and measurable actions to facilitate the monitoring of the process. Targeting or ambition. Level 1, light. There is awareness for the topic and staff and/or students occasionally take individual, uncoordinated actions. Level 2, medium. Staff and/or students have the feeling they need to act. They systematically take decisions/make actions using their own skills and resources. Level 3, intense. There is institutional support for strategic, holistic implementation of actions and measures throughout the VET organization. Readiness. Low level. The organization starts to measure, define, and record indicators for the action. Raising awareness is the key starting point in this level. Medium level. The organization follows up, monitors, and reports collected and updated KPIs. Organization, groups, and individuals are committed to promote sustainability. High level. The organization keeps track of actions, updates the strategic plan and have implementation plan to optimize results and engage in a self-improvement loop. Organization and individuals are engaged to promote sustainability to others. These scenarios are designed to meticulously evaluate the preparedness of each VET institution. Green IT for VET providers. GIVE is a 2-year, from January 11, 2021 to November 31, 2023, Erasmus Plus funded project coordinated by the French organization My Training Box, with 3 partners from France, Portugal, and Belgium. It aims to reduce the environmental impact of digital learning, promote green digital skills for VET providers and contribute to innovation in VET to achieve its goal. The project developed a clear methodology for VET providers on the environmental impact of digital learning. Among other results, through the project a white paper about green IT for the VET industry was developed. White paper. Taking into account the effects of digital education on the environment in the EU. In the prevailing discourse, digital learning is often perceived as an environmentally conscientious alternative due to the diminished necessity for physical travel and infrastructure. However, this paper posits a more nuanced perspective, contending that the ecological implications extend beyond the apparent conveniences. The study, conducted across European nations, engaged key stakeholders including learners, educators, and platform providers. The environmental impact is methodically categorized into 3 tiers: the manufacture, transport, and end-of-life considerations for devices, the network connecting end users to data centers, and the hosting services of data centers, cloud providers, and streaming platforms. Supplementary factors such as residual transport and domestic energy consumption are also scrutinized. Comparative analyses were undertaken for various digital learning configurations. For instance, 1 hour of synchronous online learning was equated to the environmental impact of 1.87 meals with beef or a 101 km car journey in Europe. Conversely, asynchronous learning demonstrated significantly lower environmental costs, analogous to 0.09 meals with beef or a mere 5 km by car. Contrary to prevailing assumptions, the study reveals that impacts stemming from non-information technology, IT, resources, encompassing transportation and domestic energy consumption, eclipse those emanating from IT resources. The paper advances recommendations applicable at both the individual and institutional levels, emphasizing the significance of extending the lifespan of digital devices in mitigating environmental impact. Crucially, the paper refrains from positioning digital education as a panacea for environmental concerns in education. Rather, it underscores the imperative of a comprehensive strategy, advocating for sustainable practices in broader domains such as transportation and electricity systems. In conclusion, while digital education presents an innovative pedagogical avenue, it necessitates integration into a holistic strategy that meticulously balances educational imperatives with environmental considerations. You can find a link to the full paper in the description of this video. The GIVE project also entailed extensive collaboration with My Green Training Box, actively contributing to the enhancement and refinement of their online courses on sustainable information technology. These courses are readily accessible on their platform, providing valuable insights and resources for individuals seeking knowledge in this domain. EU instruments and funding opportunities. EU funding plays a key role in the delivery of the actions described above and ensuring VET can be sufficiently developed and strengthened across member states. EU funds and programs such as Next Generation EU and its pillars, the Recovery and Resilience Facility and REACT-EU, ESF+, Erasmus+, the European Regional Development Fund, InvestEU, Horizon Europe, Interreg, Digital Europe, the Just Transition Mechanism, and the European Agricultural Fund for Rural Development are available to support the realization of national commitments to the future of VET. The Erasmus Plus program for 2021 to 2027 also includes funding to support the international mobility of almost 2 million VET learners and staff, as well as a budget of €400 million to fund 100 co-VE networks during this period. These funding opportunities can help reinforce support for apprenticeships, greener practices in the VET sector, digitalization of VET institutions, and VET reforms to improve upskilling and reskilling programs. These initiatives provide support for VET stakeholders, guidance and useful tools to help us deliver the EU's comprehensive vision for the future of VET together. VET is key to ensuring people in Europe have the right skills for the jobs of today and tomorrow. Conclusion, key takeaways. In wrapping up this insightful training module, let's recap the essential points. Climate change and opportunity. Recognize that climate change is not only the greatest challenge of our time but also an opportunity to forge a new economic model. Importance of sustainability and VET. The VET sector's engagement with sustainability is pivotal. Numerous EU policy initiatives underscore the crucial role of skills and training in steering sustainable growth and facilitating the transition to a green economy. Opportunities for industry. The green transition offers substantial prospects for the European industry, presenting avenues to establish markets for clean technologies and products. Enabling innovation and growth. Referencing the 2020 Osnabrück Declaration, VET is not just a facilitator but a driving force for innovation. It stands as a foundational pillar for green, digital, and sustainable growth. Embedding sustainability in VET. Both initial and continuous vocational education and training should integrate sustainability skills into their regulations and practices. While this video showcased some exemplary practices, it's crucial to emphasize that the entire VET sector should aspire to forward-thinking education and training systems. These systems are vital for empowering the workforce with the skills necessary for a successful green transition. We encourage you to explore further capacity-building training modules, dive into EVTA's social media channels for ongoing updates, and keep an eye out for the VIP Next project. Your commitment to staying informed contributes to a collective effort toward a sustainable and skilled future. Thank you for investing your time in this module. Together we can shape the future of VET, one partnership at a time.